Well, here we are at the Redcliffe Aero Club just north of Brisbane. We're going to have a look at the Cessna 152, bit of a pre-flight, look over the cockpit and go for a quick circuit heading west on runway 25. Here's our Cessna for today, Romeo November, Quebec. Let's hop inside and have a look. Okay, so we've got a basic trainer here, analog instruments, sort of old style 1990s kind of setup. We'll walk through the instruments briefly and then a power up, start up, taxi out for a quick circuit at Redcliffe here. Alright, so we have the so-called 6-pack of instruments, which are our primary flight instruments. We've got a clock kind of punctuated in the middle there. Normally these 6 instruments are all clustered together, but same layout in any case. Airspeed, indicated airspeed on the left. We've got our flap range up to 85 knots where we can put flap out, or we have to have the flaps retracted by. We'll be flying probably about around the 95 knots, I imagine, today in the circuit at 1,000 feet. Next is the artificial horizon, and we've got our bank increments here, 10, 20, 30 degrees. We'll be just using banks of around 20 degrees thereabouts for today's exercise. We've got the altimeter. We'll set today's barometric pressure, which is actually 1013 millibars. So we're pretty much at sea level here, about 10 feet. On the left, we have the turn and slip indicator, which is actually kind of a semi-backup instrument to the horizon. The horizon is vacuum air powered. It's a gyro, not currently spinning, hence the flag, whereas the turn and slip indicator, which doesn't provide any pitch information, but it does provide a balanced turn as a and wings level and slip and skid indicator as an alternative to the horizon, is electrically powered, DC electric. So this will provide us some kind of attitude guidance should the vacuum pump fail, and there's the vacuum suction pump here, will be in the green arc once we start up the engine. Next we have the direction indicator. We're just going to set our heading to the heading bug, I should say, to 250, which is the runway heading, or it's approximately 250. And then over to the right of the 6-pack, we've got, to complement the altimeter, we've got the vertical speed indicator. Now during circuit operations you seldom want to be really outside the plus or minus 1,000 feet per minute range. We've got our VOR navigation instruments here. We're not going to use these today because we're not doing any sort of cross-country work. We've got the fuel tanks, oil temp, oil pressure, and then moving over here we have the carb heat, throttle, mixture. There's no propeller lever on this aircraft. It's a fixed pitch aircraft, so we just have the throttle and mixture. We have the flap lever. We have aircraft lighting down here. We also have our circuit breakers across the bottom here. Let's put some power on. Parking brake on, and we'll put the battery power on. See the fuel gauges come to life and the turn and slip indicator becomes even, horizontal, and you can actually hear this, the gyro spinning there. There's also a gyro for the direction indicator, and it's slaved to the magnetic compass through an electronic system. So we're currently sitting here at about 157 degrees, that sort of thing. And I've got the same reading here on the direction indicator. This is our autopilot panel. We won't use it today. Just got the barometric pressure set and the alert height of 1,000 feet. So we hear a few chimes go off as we pass that threshold. We're right on the 1,000 feet below the setting, so we've got the alert running at the minute. Okay, it's our comm radio. We won't be talking to anyone today, but we would be using a traffic advisory frequency. We'll just go with the 1228 frequency today. I'm not sure what they use at Redcliffe, but we'll just keep it set on 1228 for today. This is the standby frequency, so the switch toggles between the current one and one you can next set up. There's the active frequency here. Microphone for this frequency active. You can actually listen to two radios at once and transmit on one. This is the navigation radio for the VOR, so we won't be using that today. And this is the second stack. This is for the communication radio 2 and navigation radio 2 for this VOR. This is our transponder. We'll just go with a VFR code of 1200 today. It's an uncontrolled airfield, so we just make broadcast calls, and we'll just warm the transponder up, and that will be seen by radar controllers down in Brisbane. Over to the right, we've got the tacho, the RPM indicator. We have an auto direction finder. We won't be using that today either. We use it in a subsequent video. And we've also, this to the right, we've got the ammeter, currently draining at the moment, just slightly left of zero due to the fact we've got the power on. Down on the floor we have the fuel lever, so we have to switch that on. We want to make sure our trim is in the takeoff position. Here's the indicator. We want to put our beacon light on and our navigation light on. Set our mixture to rich. And this is where we'd call clear prop outside the window and make sure there's nobody in the vicinity of the aircraft and propeller. Okay, so we'll prime the engine. A few squirts into the carburetor. Make sure our brake is on, and we'll start the engine. Throttle should be open about half an inch. There we go. Nice clean start. We'll set 1000 RPM. Bring the alternator online, and we'll see that the suction gauge is in the green arc, and the horizon is coming up to level. So we're just waiting for our oil temperature to rise a bit. Oil pressure is already in the green arc, so that's what we want to see. We'll set our flap to 10. Just eyeball it outside. There it is, 10 position. and same on the other side. You can just see it there. Alright, well that's the startup. See you in the next video.